All right, traders, here's your quick summary for Tuesday, November 13th from the Tribeca Trade Group. And it is just about 15 minutes before 12 o'clock, so before midday. So, could be just quick time to do a market summary. So what's been going on today? Well, we've got more headlines all over the place again today. So if you're not used to this or if you're not comfortable with this, it just is what it is on an everyday basis. We got something else going on. I was reading an article earlier from Bloomberg. They were talking about tape bombs. That's basically what's going on. I mean, we've got just a ton of things, moving parts that are going on. So let me start with, the theme for the last couple weeks, and I'll start with what I talked about in the trading room this morning, was that now everybody loves value, right? I mean, I think I was, listen, I'm not trying to tap myself on the back, but I've been very early on this value move. I was on Bloomberg about, 3 weeks ago, talking about Walmart, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Now I see too many people talking about it. And if you look at NASDAQ sentiment, it's getting pretty washed out. It's been washed out, right? I mean, I think the Merrill Lynch Global Fund Manager Survey said people now have an underweight exposure, or they don't like tech. So, what I thought was a pretty good, one of the things that I talked about in the pre-market session this morning is watch for bad news to come out, which we got a ton of bad news, right, yesterday, which I'm not going to rehash all that, but we got like 4 or 5 different bad news coming out, in different sectors, globally, different things going on. We need to start to see the bad news come out and the market doesn't go down with it, right? So Corvo came out. Now, this is just one little tidbit that I pulled, but Corvo, which we talked about and I sent out earlier, that they had bad news. They reduced their numbers, their guidance bad, and the stock's not getting crushed like Light did yesterday and Apple did yesterday. So that's kind of what you want to start to see if you think to see that the bad news is getting priced in. You want to see bad news come out and the market either go up with the bad news or at least stop going down. So again, this video, of course, is for information purposes only. So that's what I'm looking for, is when bad news comes out and the market actually responds pretty well. This market is absolutely a day trader's paradise. At the SMH semis, we're down 4.4% yesterday. They're up 3% today. So what to do in this type of market? I talked about yesterday in yesterday's video that I really believe that right now we're in a sideways market. You kind of just have to take the rips that you get, take targets, and then take positions off, because right now these moves are much bigger, and I can bring up any chart, but I guess I can bring up a semis chart. The moves that we're getting on a day-to-day basis, if you're positioning right for them, they're much larger than normal moves. So if you time it right, and again, that's easier said than done, but you don't need to really sit in a trade for for a couple days if it's going to move 4% in one day. Usually you would think, something that moves 4%, oh, that could be over a couple weeks. You get a 4% move in one day, and then you just move on. That's how quickly we are moving right now. And again, my weekend newsletter was dedicated to changing your trading style a little bit if you're going to try to trade this market. And that's basically what you're getting. So, I've put on my day trading hat, and I went long a couple things today. And also option activity giving us a pretty good heads up today that, at least to try to play a bounce. There's some Apple calls, aggressive calls going up, not huge. A little bit of Facebook calls. I mean, I'm under the impression right now, I haven't looked at the FANGs, if you have been paying attention to my market videos, I really have not been mapping out or charting the FANG stocks, because I didn't think it was really the time to kind of go into those, and I think it still needed to be washed out. Now we're seeing a little bit of Facebook calls. I think for a day trade, I'm in some Facebook today just for a day trade. Why? Because it's really, really washed out at this point. Now, when I post Facebook calls, people are like, I don't want, that's, it's nasty. I don't want to get into it. That's when I want to jump and try to play some opportunities. Las Vegas Sands, LVS. Again, a lot of this Kudlow came on and, talked about China. So, the casinos tend to trade a little bit with China, but there's a lot of Las Vegas Sands. I don't know if all of them were being bought, but You could see that some January 52.5 calls, 7,000 on the tape there. Also some shorter dated ones, December 7th, November 30th, so on and so forth. So we've seen that name multiple, come up. And again, if you kind of look at the 1 hour chart, which I tend to do on days like this because you want to know where your resistance is, 53.63. So, it's up 3%. Hey, if you get up a 5% day, that's a lot faster than we normally move. So I personally would be happy if we get up to 53.63. But that's how I'm kind of looking at the markets. A couple other trades that saw me get a little bit excited about tech this morning. A little bit of Microsoft, and I mentioned the Apple already, but and also a little bit of Skyworks. Very small order, but still. UPS seeing a little bit of activity. XOP. Also seeing some calls. Also, what I'm turning to is the dollar. There's definitely some more. It's almost every day where we're getting Brexit headlines, but it's becoming more and more evident right now. But if you look at the UUP ETF, which I talked about, the 26 VPOC being taken out in last night's video, which if we just turn in here very quickly. And then I'll end today's video, but that target has been realized. So we're seeing a little bit of a move back. I would rather be playing day trading on the long side if I see a weaker dollar. So we'll see if that pans out for the rest of the day. VIX is still jumpy. We hit a high of 21.25, but we're now down on the day, 19.51. We'll see where we go. I'm also watching VXN. I think it would be very positive if VXN breaks 26, this 200 period moving average, which is 26.16. Remember, VXN is the VIX for the Qs. VIX is the VIX for the S&P. Also, IWM is flirting with that. So again, don't know really what we're going to do on a, looking out a week. But if you can manage to find these days where we've got some momentum to the upside, I think it's really, really good to take advantage of, and then, take it for what it is, and you can go back and you can reduce that risk. In terms of ETF volume, interesting that EEM is the highest volume of any ETF today, trading about 20% more than normal volume today. Also, USO trading a lot of volume today. That's the oil ETN that's being used. And also nat gas, a lot of that. At this point, we've been seeing some call buying in USO. This is now down, I don't know how many days in a row, too many to count. Another VPOC version point of control being taken out there in USO. The RSI is a 17. Personally, I think it's a pretty good shot, and maybe just a reversion trade. Again, not going long for a long period, but just basically for a bounce. Take a look at this BZH, by the way, up 29% today. Talk about a short squeeze. I think also the home builders are doing pretty well today on that bounce. These things will bounce when there's a little bit of positive news. All right, so that's today's video. It's an 8-minute video, but a lot of stuff to talk about, and we'll go back to the trading room after this. Thanks very much.